Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good whatever time of day it is for you. Good day. We are back with the D&D stream of a game we kind of left off a few weeks ago in a very, very bad situation. Curse of Strahd, being run by our own DM, Caramel Cactus.
Hi, everybody.
And joining us, we have Mystic Rin,
Hi.
Sorelia,
Hey.
and Cranky Pants.
Yep.
And I just got to get Cranky's picture in here. Because you weren't here last time, so I had your picture turned off. Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
I know I'm a horrible human being. No, that. Why is that turned? No, fossil. Wait, it shows that fossil picture is turned on, but it's not actually showing. I don't know why. Oh, there we go.
Turning it on and off again.
Yeah, I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. There we go. So, it's been a few weeks. Who would like to do the recap? I'll do it myself if nobody else wants to volunteer.
Go for it, Coco.
Yeah, go for it.
I trust your memory more than everybody's, including mine.
Right, well-
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Last we left off, we were escorting, and I'm gonna forget these names, so please help me with the names. It's the brother and sister duo.
Irina and oh crap! I forgot her name all of a sudden. Sorry, brain fart. I know her other name. Irina is her name, and then Ismark. There we go.
Ismark. Okay, so the brother and sister duo, Irina and Ismark, were trying to escape from the clutches of Strahd, because Strahd has a very unhealthy obsession with this woman. So we tricked Strahd into thinking that Irina was still at their home, using Fossil's skull, a combination of Fossil's skull, Unseen Servant, and some invisibility spells from Sullivan. Once we laid the trick down, we all went and what was the name of the town we were headed towards again?
Valkylie.
What was this about my skull?
Vossel had a skull that she was carrying around with her for God knows whatever reason.
I had solid reasons.
And we were able to use that skull, put a cloak over it, like kind of disguise the skull to be like a
I remember
person.
that.
And Sullivan cast an Unseen Servant spell from a scroll he got from Ismark to kind of carry around the scroll in the cloak to make it look like it was an actual person, to try to look like Irina. And that's when we kind of went into the house. Well, Sullivan and the Unseen Servant. Sullivan cast invisibility on himself, snuck out of the house, went back to the church. Then everybody else went back to, well, started their way towards Valkyrie. On the way, we ran into Fastani camp, where Cerelia's character, he's a Fastani, so what's your character's name?
My character's name is Musetta Kamatao.
I'll just
beg
look
your
at the
pardon?
first name. Muzeta.
It's Chad Jones.
He introduced us to his Fastani friends. And
His name is Nook.
we got some cryptic, not so subtle fortunes about, no matter what we choose, we're screwed kind of thing. So we moved on from the camp. We ended up getting attacked by a whole bunch of zombie plant thingies. Those far too many of them for us to take down, so we had to run away with our tails between our legs. We are spent, we are beat up, we got back to the camp, the Vastani camp, but the Vastani are gone. That's a cloaked figure in the middle. Sullivan, Irina, and Isfan stayed hidden in the bushes while Rat and Muzeta approached the cloaked figure. The cloaked figure turned around and it turned out to be Strahd, holding the skull that we used to trick him. He crushed the skull and demanded to know where Irina was, and that's where we left off.
Brilliant recap, Coco.
That was way more than I remembered.
Yeah.
it was a busy time last time.
So right now we're desperately trying to figure out how not to get TPK'd.
Yeah.
Do I still have the skull?
This skull is smashed. You saw him crush it in his hands.
Ah, fuck.
Total party kill, Sor.
Yeah, and total party kill.
Yep.
Oh, fair enough.
So yeah, Coco is absolutely correct. It's been a long journey. You are pretty much out of magic. I'm 90% sure. No more spell slots. You're wounded. You're out in the middle of nowhere. And Strahd is standing in a place that you last thought would have safety and does not.
Gone is out
Yep.
of inventory. I don't like it.
Well, I still have plenty of hit points left, but my spellbook is kind of.
Oh,
Strahd
that
does
might
not
have-
look happy.
I really doubt that my hit points are accurate.
Wait, I still have all my spell slots. I didn't use any of them.
I
But-
will, as a person, not a DM, I will say it's probably not a good idea to think about fighting him. But then again, Fossil is back, so let's get your character sheets ready. We'll need them.
Yeah, but
You
we will.
speak with animals on him because he's a dick.
No, I meant more like trade a diversion to get us out.
Yeah, try to
At
escape.
least. I have one spell that can be useful.
Wait, weren't we
Right.
level 3 now?
Yes.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
and with that, I will. Oh, sorry, you were saying something, Coco?
I was saying, are we level 3? Oh yeah, we are.
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
After
a quick question. How many spell slots do you get? Do I get extra spell slots as level 3?
Yeah,
I
you
think
do.
you get one
Let me look it up real quick.
level
Yes,
2
please.
and 3 level 1s, if I'm not mistaken, and 4 cantrips, I believe.
Okay, at level 3, you should have 2 cantrips, 4 first level, 2 second level.
Oh, druid. I'm thinking cleric. My bad.
Well, it should be the same for the cleric. I think clerics get more cantrips though.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I was like, I have a shitload of clerics up.
Well, that's
Cleric
not the spell
cantrips.
slots they get, but the spells you can memorize should be your level plus your wisdom bonus.
So spell slots 4 level 1s, 2 level 2s?
Yes.
Okay. Damn.
By the way, guys, can you hear my keyboard?
I
No.
cannot
No.
hear your keyboard.
No.
Hey, nice change.
Nice.
Last time it was super loud.
Oh,
Let's
Christ, yeah.
just say my new headset and my new computer has made my microphone quite a lot lower. So
Oh,
from
fantastic.
80 something percent to 100% is now.
Nice.
All right, excellent. All right, is everybody ready?
Yep.
I are ready.
All right, let's get this started. Do-do-do. All right, ready. Fossil has mysteriously appeared out of the woods again and stumbles to a scene of a very angry Strahd standing before you.
He's always angry.
Slowly falling from his fist are the bone fragments of the skull that he shattered. In his rage, his eyes flow blood red as he looks upon each and every one of you, his face drawn with fury. "Where is Tatiana?" he says, angrily pointing at each of you. He makes no move closer.
I'm sorry, but who drew the eyebrows?
Whoever did that, we will,
That was not me.
as I say, I will talk to you about that after. Remember our rule, there is absolutely no drawing on here. If you do, you will suffer hit point losses.
Gezondheid.
We will ignore that one this time.
Who the fuck did that?
Thing is, I'm thinking I want to do something, but as a person, I know I should not do it, but it would be something Fossil would do.
It's something Fossil would do, but for this, like I said, this is
Well,
your one warning.
That's a good question. Where is Fossil?
Fossil has appeared out of the woods. I assume she's carrying a bunch of mushrooms and acorns in her pockets. You may choose however many you like.
What kind of mushrooms? Because I know in D&D mushrooms have properties sometimes.
They are green and red.
Okay.
Okay, Sullivan is still going to stay hidden in the bushes with Irina and Isfan.
Perfect.
Okay,
Strahd
so
waits impatiently for an answer.
Wait,
who is he talking to, though?
Anyone who's before him.
Was
That'll
I in
be-
front of him again?
Yeah, there'll be Rat, Musetta, and if Fossil really did walk out of the forest, I guess Fossil.
yeah,
Do
I just hold for the mushrooms and acorns, which that's good.
Works for me.
Okay, so he is basically asking us where the girl is?
He uses the name Tatiana.
Okay. I mean, Rat's not dumb or anything, so I'm thinking they will be able to connect dots on that one. Yeah. So, Strahd basically asked, like, okay, where the fuck is this girl? And now it's basically, okay, I'm gonna get myself killed or gonna get the whole party killed. Should have
Musetta, is, as he's standing almost in front of him, is kind of shivering. Strahd, I do not know who this Tatiana is.
Also, quick recap. So I'm literally just walking out of the forest and suddenly I see Strahd.
I assume that your face is crammed full of food like a chipmunk, and yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
You would, however, notice the skull as its fragments are falling from his hand. I'm not sure how Foss
I
would
would
react.
notice the markings on it, I think.
Yep.
Fucking shame, I'm
Okay.
eating the skull now.
I think Rat would slowly walk backwards, and they would say, I don't know anyone named Tatiana. Which is technically true, so it's not a lie.
What kind of fool do you take me for? I know she is here. I can smell her. Oh, my Tatiana, where are you? Bring her to me now! He glowers at you and holds out his sword to your neck.
Okay. A little bit of help would be appreciated, because if my character dies within the first 10 minutes of this fucking quest, I'm gonna be so mad and not speak to any of you for a week.
So, who?
I'm just gonna prepare for immersion, to be honest.
And this Tatiana, how does she look?
Ed seems taken aback by your question for a second. You could tell he waxes nostalgic. She's the most beautiful woman that Ravenloft has ever seen. To know her, to look upon her is to know the sun. To know the warmth of her touch, her smile, her long flowing hair down to her neck is just... No, you were trying to buy time. Where is she?
Okay.
I know she is near.
Okay.
Okay, so Rat is just gonna be pointing at Fossil, like, do you mean her?
Oh,
I am not interested in your pet. Where
I
is
remember you.
Tatiana now?
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, no.
Fucking cranky.
My mouth's up full of food.
No.
Strahd
Stop him.
pushes past all of you and goes towards the bushes behind.
No. Wait.
Rin,
No, we're still in the Pisani camp. Was there any bit of fire still in the camp, or any kind of embers or anything like that?
Embers, yes, put out. So you can tell there's campfires that used to be there. They're still smoking. However, they have been put out.
Rin,
Okay,
can I
because
ask a question?
let's see.
Damn it.
Okay, I might do something really dumb. Well, I am going to do something really dumb.
Okay, before you
I
do
love
that,
it.
I'm gonna ask Rin something. Rin, well, there's something about you having a pet rat.
I have a pet mouse named
So, well,
Sir
mouse.
Bartholomew Blaze.
Gamatau will do something stupid as well.
If you hurt my mouse, I will literally do a player kill.
Let's give
promise.
Sullivan a chance to do
I
his dumb
thought
thing.
doing dumb stuff was my job.
Okay, come on, guys. I want to do something dumb for once. All right, let me get my character.
So,
Okay,
I am going to give Sullivan the stage here. Sullivan,
Okay.
Strahd is casting about, looking around the camp.
Well, this is something I wanted to do like while he was in conversation with Rat.
Oh, perfect. Go for it.
So, it's gonna whisper to Irina. It's like to give him like one of her handkerchiefs or any like article of clothing that she could just like piece of cloth or something that she might have.
Irina wordlessly tears part of her shirt sleeve off and hands it to you.
Okay. Sullivan tells both Isvan and Irina to get away. Don't look back. He's very serious about not looking back.
They look at each other for a second, nod wordlessly, and begin scampering down the trail back from whence you came.
All right. So I guess from hopefully they don't look back, and from everybody else's point of view, I guess like at this point Strahd would be done talking to Rat.
Mm-hmm. He's basically pushing past them, like casting his gaze about. He knows she's near, but he can't tell where.
A young lion is going to burst out of the bushes and run away from Strahd, away from where Irina and Isvan is going to, with the piece of cloth in its mouth.
Oh, all right. Well played, sir. Well played. All right. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna deal with this one. All right. Let's roll with it. Strahd notices the creature, but has no idea what it is. He's never seen one. However, he immediately does recognize the scent of the cloth in the lion's mouth charging away. What manner of creature is this? He says as he watches it dash off to the distance.
Yes, I am using I'm dashing. So in this form, I have a speed of 50. Since I'm dashing, it's gonna be a speed of 100.
Whew, that's a tough one. All right, I'm looking through Strahd, seeing what he can do. One moment, please.
Yeah. So depending on how close you get to the bushes, I am at least going to be 100 feet away, or on my way to be 100 feet away.
Because I'm saying this as a person, not a DM. Strahd is kind of bullshit, so...
Oh, I know, but I'm at least trying to cause a distraction for everybody else to get away.
Okay, alright, once again, I think I got something here. Go ahead and make conversation amongst yourself real quick. I need to read this.
Alright, I think I broke the DM.
That didn't take long. I was hoping I could bullshit my way through this faster.
Well, Coco, isn't it usually us who breaks you when you're the DM?
Yeah, it's nice to be the one on the not receiving end this time.
Mood.
So just because you're not on the receiving end, you're...
Alright, how far... Alright, you screw it. He can do this. It's in the rules. We'll just roll it. Alright, Strahd... Wait, who was that?
I think it's in somebody's background.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure, so I was trying to talk. Strahd notices the creature running away with the cloth. In a fury, he looks at the rest of the party and says, "We are not finished here!" and quickly turns into a bat and takes off after the creature.
Okay.
I clip him the double bird as he flies away.
Alright, no, I can easily outrun a bat.
Give me high or low, Coco.
Give it to me high.
The thing is, if I knew that Coco was going to do that, I would have
Ooh,
a spell on it.
does this count as high or low?
That is low.
Strahd is able to fly up and notice where you are headed. Where are you traveling to, good Sir Lion?
Well, the only place I would know how to get to, like, since, you know, this is a strange place for me, it's gonna be back to, what was the time we went to? Barovia?
Barovia.
Yeah, that's where I'm headed towards.
The bat notices the lion running off to Barovia and alights back onto the ground, knowing he cannot catch the fast creature. He looks to the rest of the party and demands to know what this was.
Wait.
What manner of creature is this? Something under your employ?
Yes, it is. It's abomination. It's one of the most feared creatures in our world.
I'll pay it.
And shut up. It's as fast as lightning. Its teeth are razor sharp. It can cut through anything.
I'll pay it.
Shut up. I would have never expected to see it here come through with us. You should better be scared and fear it as we all do.
Strahd lowers his eyes suspiciously and listens intently.
If you see one of those abominations, it's a bad omen. It means everything you wish and desire is going to be lost within a day.
I am no stranger to bad omens, worm.
Well, that's as bad as it can get in our world. If you see the yellow blazing sun with a tail, you run, and you run fast, but you can never run fast enough.
Strahd smiles slightly. He thinks that you're telling the truth, but senses some bullshit at the same time. However, amusement seems to be in low supply for this man, and he sheathes his sword quietly and points up onto the hill far to the north. Do you see those towers? Do you see the majesty of my castle? Please, take this from me personally. An invitation, if you will. I should love to hear more about this from you. At your earliest leisure, of course.
Oh shit. That's a very
We all got-
kind offer.
And you went very glitchy.
Yeah, as I say, that went really robot-y.
Oh, sorry. Rash just like gives a quick bow, like, "That's very nice of you for the invitation." And he's
Strahd,
like, they're like, "What the fuck do we do now?"
Strahd can't take his eyes off of you, and he gets quite close, sniffing around your neck. I do have a feeling that we might have other matters to discuss. I look forward to your journey, heroes. I'm not far, he says as he turns into a bat once again and flies off into the distance.
Again, flipping the double bird.
And this Rat is just like shivering, like, "Okay, let's find a big fucking pussy cat now, okay?"
As Strahd flits off into the
Rat
dark
whistles
forest
with his
above.
fingers.
How far away? Is it magically enhanced in any way, or is it just a whistle?
It's just a very, very loud whistle because it's not the first time that Rat lost track of Sullivan. It's a special whistle, a BFF whistle.
Give me high or low. Let's do this one more time.
Hi. Hey, bitch.
The whistle reaches Sullivan's ears, but very, very faintly.
Okay.
Sullivan was going to try to remain in the forest and as stealthily as possible double back to the party.
Okay.
Due to your animal nature, I will allow it. Sullivan, you rejoin the party once again in the clearing.
Okay.
Strahd, as far as you know, is nowhere to be seen. However, give me a perception check.
Okay, well, before I present myself, I'm going to be in human form. But do I need a perception check before or after I transform back? Because I get a bonus if it's before I transform.
Once you reach the party.
Okay, so it's going to be after.
Yes.
15.
Sullivan, you notice in the distance in the trees several large ravens. These are absurdly large ravens, about the size of a bloodhound. They make no noise and watch you soundlessly.
Did I notice them before? Like I entered the
You
clearing?
did not. No one did except for you.
Okay, so to my knowledge, they only saw me. They didn't see me in my lion form, only my human form. That's what I'm asking.
That you can assume that, yes.
Okay.
Quick random question. What is a Quipper?
A who?
A Quipper?
Well, because of my wild shape, I can transform into a creature with
Oh,
1/4 challenge rating or below.
a Quipper is a fish.
What kind of fish?
A very tiny fish. I think you have like
Well,
one
seeing
hit
that it
point.
has blood frenzy, I am just assuming a piranha.
Let me look it up real quick to see if D&D has a different version of what a Quipper is.
Blood frenzy. Hard breathing.
Let's see, roll 20, Quipper, Blood Frenzy. Quipper has advantage on melee attack, water breathing.
Quipper is a kind
Okay,
of
well,
a
here's the
fish
thing.
with sharp teeth.
Its bite only does one point of piercing damage, and that's it, and you have 1 hit point.
So piranha.
Yeah, you're a single piranha, I guess. Let's see, a Quipper is a carnivorous fish with sharp teeth. Quippers can adapt to any aquatic environment, including cold subterranean lakes. They frequently gather in swarms. The statistics of a swarm of Quippers appear later in the appendix. Okay. So you are a 1 hit point fish.
Out of water. I will remind you it is out of water.
Yeah, but I'm literally just looking at the names and I saw the name Quipper and I was like, what the heck is that?
Oh, I thought you were trying to transform and no one's like, okay.
Oh no, I'm literally going through the names like baboon, badger, bat.
Oh, no, I'm not
Suddenly I saw
imagining that.
Quipper.
Like Fossil has like these acorns and mushrooms, flipping off Strahd as Strahd's flying away. He's like, huh. And then fish.
Yeah.
That's
So
how it
is a
works, just because.
unique
I'm stupid.
individual.
Yeah,
That is one way to say it.
yeah, fuck
But
off,
it's
Strahd.
just
I'm a
my
fish
fucking
now.
alignment, I will say that.
So good.
Right.
Alright, Sullivan, you've rejoined the party and you have noticed these large bloodhound-sized ravens. They do not appear to be threatening you in any way, just sitting in the trees, watching.
Okay, I beckon both, well, not both, three, Musetta, Rat, and Fossil to approach me, like, within whispering distance.
Okay.
So, I sent off, Arena and her brother in the opposite direction that I ran. I fear that if we approach them now, then he kind of motions up to the birds, like, well, Strahd will know exactly where she is. We'll need to find a way to do this stealthily and out of his
Popo,
sight.
you got very, very silent.
Yeah, I'm okay.
It was role-playing silent.
Yeah, okay. I was whispering.
Oh.
So.
It was role-playing silent. If you could hear it, that was
enough.
intention.
Well, were you able to
Okay.
hear me though, clearly? Or
Yeah,
was
I
it
can
too
hear you.
quiet for you to hear? Okay, so you're able to hear? Good. So, yep, birds are watching us. We need to catch up with Arena, but we don't want the birds to see. We got to come up with a plan for that.
Okay.
FYI, Rat's the only one that knows about the lion part.
Well, I can try to shoot the ravens.
They're quite large, and there's a lot of them. I'm afraid it will
To
just
be
provoke
honest,
them to attack.
Why don't I see anything about a mole as a creature?
There's probably a weird D&D name for mole.
Okay.
Like, Violettes are basically moles.
Not mule,
wait.
mole.
Wait.
Yeah, that's what I said, mole. Anyways,
I did.
so
find
Rat,
one
you
from,
have brought up trying to shoot the birds.
Cranky, so you know there's a dog mole and a brain mole, but not a regular mole. Okay, Musetta, do you have any plan? Do you have any ideas, Musetta?
How many did you see, and what color?
What, as in the birds?
Indeed.
Approximately how many do I see? Camera.
You can tell there's about 4 or 5 from your distance where you're at. But it is deeply shrouded in the forest at night, so you can't exactly trust your eyes with how many.
I can only confirm 5, but there may be more, and they're very large.
Those might be the eyes of Strahd. I suggest we either sneak around them through the forest, or perhaps, as Red suggested, we should try to fight them. Might lower the chance of Strahd appearing again.
We are still wounded from our
up
last
and
encounter. I don't think another fight with large flying creatures is going to do us any good. And the longer we wait here, the longer Isaac and Irina are on their own. How about we split the party?
What if I cast Hunter's Mark on Sullivan, make him stealth towards them, and I lead the others in a way around the birds towards them? Is that something?
In the distance, you hear a lone, mournful wolf howl.
Ow, bitch, shut up.
Musetta, how far are we from, what's the name of the town again?
Valkylie.
Musetta, how far are we from Valkylie?
Mazetta, you would know it is approximately 1 to 2 days distance.
Not so far, a day or two. Though, considering the birds and the howl, I think we need to hurry it a bit up.
Would pass without trace work?
In this situation, I think it would.
I can, in a range within 30 feet, I can give everybody a +10 bonus to stealth checks. And can only be tracked by magical means, and we won't leave any tracks behind.
If you could get to cover, like within some trees yourself, which aren't directly in view of the birds, I would allow that.
Alright, yeah, let's do that. I think in this situation, haste might be more warranted, and we gotta hurry this up.
Mm-hmm.
How far and how long does Pass Without Trace last?
It is with every creature in 30 feet of me, which I can decide who it gets it, and it'll. Duration, it doesn't say. I will actually quickly check, but it requires me to have concentration. The Pass Without Trace. Let me see. Blah, blah, blah. Duration. Oh, as long as I'm concentrating up into an hour.
Okay, thank you very much. Alright, I will allow you to do so.
That does mean that everybody needs to roll a stealth check.
And we add 10 to it.
I don't need your help.
You're right.
And excuse me, princess.
I ain't no princess.
Check and see.
I'm a royal.
Well, you got a 29. Also got
18.
an 18. I got a 17.
17.
I got a 13.
No, you got a 23 because you have a plus 10.
Oh,
That is what Pass Without a Trace does. It gives you plus 10 to stealth checks.
nice.
Alright, the party has now stealthed. The ravens appear to be still staring in your general direction, but they aren't exactly focusing on anything anymore.
I want you to know that basically Fossil is standing with both of her hands on her head, basically with a look like she's hurting herself in her mind. Because she needs to concentrate for this.
Alright, party, you would know that this is extraordinarily difficult for Fossil because she's not eating anything and not ruining someone else, so I suggest you make haste. But
Okay.
you do remember that Irina and... Oh god. Irina and... I
Ismark.
keep on calling him Ismog. Thank you.
Ismark.
Staring right at his name right here. Have traveled back down the river to where you once fought those monsters.
Okay. The difficult terrain will not slow us down. We can get lost. And
You are on a path right now, so it's not difficult terrain.
Also, Coco, I can find nothing about a normal mole.
Yeah, in 5th edition, there's dog moles and brain moles, but no normal moles.
Yeah,
Which is
I
weird
don't
because
even
in
know what a brain mole
3.5
is.
edition, there is a normal mole. And it has 6 hit points. And I don't know why.
Yeah, 6 hit points sounds like a low enough challenger, I think, to be honest.
I don't know, like 6 hit
I'll
points.
allow a mole on this one.
Like
That's
6
fine.
hit points means you could stab it with a dagger and it'll still live. It just seems like too many hit points for a mole.
Counter animals.
In 3.5 edition, that's more hit points than a wizard would get.
To be honest, and Camel has 15 hit points, and it is on 1-8.
I will say you can turn into one, but with 1 hit point.
Okay.
A very, very small one. But remember, Fossil is concentrating right now, so I suggest.
Yeah, but it
you
is
hurry.
more like for the fact like we know that I can turn into one if needed.
Yep, and technically, a druid concentrating on a spell can still wild shape and maintain concentration on that spell.
Does that mean that I can literally turn into a rat and somebody can carry me?
Yes.
I know someone who's carrying a mouse right now.
Oh well, Sullivan was carrying a rat. I don't know what happened to it.
It's still there, just eating all his food.
I forgot I even had that rat.
Yep, that
Well,
used
give it
to
to
be.
me then. Then I have 2 pets.
For our listeners who are, well, if we even have any, one of our older characters, Bexley, was killed in the death house, and their rat has become Sullivan's pet.
Oh, right. Well, rat. I'm not going to give you the rat because if there's any kind of chemistry between your rat and this rat, we're going to have a whole bunch of baby rats, and I don't want to deal with that
But
problem
it's-
right now.
But Bartholomew is a mouse and not a rat.
It can
And mouse
be
are rats procreate.
Ren,
Goddamn,
It
don't
might
make me
crossbreed.
Google this. Do not make me Google this. Let's just move on.
So, Fossil is concentrating and getting increasingly agitated. I suggest you hurry.
Okay, yeah.
We're running.
Okay, you said okay, did we find them at the river, or are we still on our way there?
I would say, like, do you decide to go down the river, the path you once came?
Well,
Or, I should say, do you choose to pursue them or to head on without them?
no, to pursue them. Like,
Very well. You travel about halfway back to the river and find them clustered behind some bushes. They can't see you, quite obviously.
by the way, rats and mice cannot reproduce. I did end up looking it up.
100 species, blah blah blah.
Right.
Experiments ended up in bloody mess. Oh dear.
Okay. Stop going down the rabbit hole, Cranky. Ismark. Isabella. Are you there?
Ismark perks his head up and looks around. He doesn't say anything, however, he appears suspicious. Both of them have their weapons drawn.
Rats and mice cannot interbreed, because after a few cell divisions the zygote just dies.
Ismark seems particularly perplexed about this. Mice and rats breeding? What?
Just ignore her. She's her own special breed.
A thing like music exists.
We were able to evade Strahd for now, but I think we all know that he's still on our trail. You must make
The two
haste.
sheathe their weapons and still looking around for you. We cannot see you, heroes. Where are you?
Oh, Fossil, can you add them to your list of characters within your spell?
I want Goku to know the moment he looks at my face, he can just see he just sees a fossil with extremely cross-eyed, like,
Yes, right. I'm gonna like gently put my hand on the closest one's shoulder.
Let's go with Irina for that one.
Okay.
Her weapon is sheathed, but she spins around suspiciously. At their feet, you notice several rotting vines.
It's us, Irina. We're able to temporarily evade Strahd, but we need to get out of here fast.
She nods in agreement. Very well. Take us where you will, heroes. Let us escape this place.
Going on an adventure.
So the two are now enveloped in your spell as well, Fossil. Does this increase your difficulty?
no.
Very well.
As
Alright.
long as it is within the hour, it should be cool.
All of you are now shrouded in here. You are now once again on the riverbanks of the Ser River and the Ser Pool. You would know further to the west is a collapsed pathway that is swarming with monsters and river demons. To the right is the road that leads back to the village of Barovia, followed by a crossroad which leads up into the mountains.
There was another path that led to the city, or
Mhm.
the one I keep forgetting the name of.
You would remember that Mozetta told you that there were two paths to the river leading up to Valkyrie. One followed the river Ser, and the other went through the mountains.
Is the one through the mountains? Isn't that in the direction where Strahd's castle is?
You can assume that, yes. You would know just from the geography. However, it does initially lead south. Whereas Strahd's castle is to the north.
Sullivan is bent. I don't know. Like, I would like to cross the river, but I don't think anything Sullivan can do to help out. Anybody else have anything?
This isn't really metagaming just because we put it out last week. Last week at the river crossing, you noticed a tall bridge approximately 1,000 feet above the mouth of the river.
Yeah,
you could assume that this was led to from the path through the mountains.
We're gonna have to sneak around near Strahd's castle for that. Alright.
Probably get ourselves killed in the process. Sounds like fun.
Alright, let's do it.
Also, who has that in the background? It's pretty loud.
I don't hear it anymore. Like, I heard what you were talking about, but not now.
I think it's really us that somebody's constantly talking.
You sure it wasn't just me trying to say something?
No.
Okay, well, I guess
It
unless
is really-
anybody knows how to get up this mountain, we're gonna scale these walls. We gotta take the mountain path.
Wait, is it a mountain or a wall?
A mountain.
I mean, like, we can
Because
see.
I have no troubles climbing that.
Yeah, we can see a bridge on top. Like, if I recall right, scaling the cliffside was an option, but there was no way we were gonna get all of us up there.
That is correct. It is slippery, wet, and cold.
So we would need to double
So
back
it
and
is
take the
seen
mountain
as
path.
difficult terrain.
Extremely difficult terrain.
It's
Wait,
made of
but-
stone.
Difficult
And-
terrain doesn't slow your group's travel.
However, this is pretty much a scale wall, now teeming with monsters.
Well,
Damn it.
okay, isn't it doesn't slow down. Like, difficult terrain doesn't slow you down, but it doesn't negate the like how dangerous it is. Like this isn't like you're walking through a bush. This is you're scaling up the side of a mountain that you slip, fall, and die.
Yep.
Okay.
Guys,
And none of us have any. Let's see. Can you cast that 6 times?
Yeah, I don't have a drop of bitumen and a spider. I don't have 6 of those. I don't even have 1. I accidentally clicked on, instead of like components, I accidentally clicked on spell info.
If you could cast that 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 times, I might allow it, but at the same time, you weren't here for this fossil. Once they traveled there, there was a mouth of the river that they were thinking of climbing. From out of it came several sort of zombie plant shamblers, and there's just tons and tons and tons of them. You may try to sneak past them if you want, however, your party would know at the mouth of the river, down here at least, there are still dozens of them left.
Right. Well, it sounds like we got to take the mountain path. I don't think there's any other way.
Your other options are to travel through dense forests. However, these are the paths that Mozetta has recommended to you, as he is the one with the map.
I'm comfortable with just going through the dense forest, but I don't know about the rest of you guys.
I'm okay.
I do need to take a nap at some point, though.
Yeah.
I shall lead the way, whether you go through the forest, the mountain, or the lake. However, I do not recommend the forest.
But why?
Wait, well, no wait, that is fucking control animals, no.
Well, Mozetta does know the region much better than we do. If he suggests a mountain path, I suppose that's what we have to do.
I shall lead wherever you want to go. If you prefer the dense forest, there is more cover. Oh.
Well,
This FYI, like Sullivan is less skeptical of Mozetta, since in the encounter with Strahd, when he was demanding to know where Irina or the other name was, like Mozetta didn't give her up. If he was working with Strahd, he would have been able to give her up right then and there, but he didn't. So Sullivan is less skeptical of Mozetta at this point.
well.
And again, he doesn't know Sorelia, so you always gotta be suspicious of Sorelia stealing
that'll be
stuff.
metagaming. Not metagaming.
So, are we going to go through the mountains or through the forest?
Shall we vote?
I vote for the mountain path.
Me
The
too.
mountainous road is long. The forest might be shorter. However, there may be a bit more danger.
We will need to find a place to make up camp soon. It is getting late and we've been traveling for a long time. Do you know any place nearby that could be safe enough for us to set up camp?
Mozetta, you would know that the nearest sign of civilization is the crossroads that led to the Serre Pools and or up to the mountain.
Well, it should be the crossroads that we passed some while ago. That is the closest we have. Or the path towards. Yeah, the crossroads. That is probably the closest.
So shall we make that our destination for now? And he's going to look at everybody, see if for signs of confirmation.
Yep.
Alright, unless Ismark or Isabella have any disagreements, that's where we're going.
The two look at each other and say, the other closest civilization is the village of Barovia. However, it will be daytime by the time we are able to reach its gates.
And we already know that Strahd has eyes in Barovia waiting for you.
This is true, hero. No place in this realm is safe from Strahd's eyes. However, He is most likely looking for us in populated places.
Do you maybe know a cave nearby?
Not that I know of, unfortunately, no. All I know is that the forests are one not to be trifled with, especially at night.
Well, at the very least, Crossroads will be closer to our final destination. The Crossroads would be closer to the city, right? Not Barovia?
That is correct, sir.
Okay, yeah. So if we're
At the crossroads lie the village of Barovia to the east and the mountain to the south. Valkyrie lies on the other side of that path.
I know what we should do.
Okay. Sullivan looks at Foster with concern in his eyes.
Well, I just place one hand in front of my eyes, I point my arm forward, and I start spinning.
And what would be the goal?
I don't know why I expected any less.
Well, everybody is just trying to say, like, no, that is better, no, we should go here, no, we should go. That's fate decide.
That is fine by me. If you... I shall lead wherever you want to go.
Well, I'm saying the Crossroads. Rhett, what do you want?
Crossroads.
I think at this point, the only ones arguing right now is Ismark and... Well, this is Ismark.
Very well. Take us there, heroes. We shall lead where we shall follow where you lead. Especially because we cannot do any of this concealment magic that your friend seems to be struggling with here.
Now, Foster, can you cast that spell again?
What spell?
Passive Without Trace.
Let's see. It's in... I should be able. Looking at Caramel.
Alright, well, please do, and as we travel towards the Crossroads.
Perfect.
Okay.
As you travel along and Fossil recasts his spell of concealment, you come to the clearing at Sarah River once again, where the Vistani once camped. The ravens that you noticed in the trees are now long gone. No trace of any other life sits before you. You travel down the darkened path now into the dead of night. Within the forest you see eyes staring at you, some glowing, some hungry, but none approach you. You can't be entirely certain they know you're there. In the distance, as you travel closer to the crossroads, you see a once familiar sight. These crossroads here appear to be derelict, however, it is the closest sign of civilization. Within them lies a gallows, several steps fallen into repair, and several graves, all marked round. However, the only other sign of civilization within is a sign, one pointing down the path from which you once came, Sarah Falls, another pointing to the east, Barovia, and one pointing to the south, Valkyrie.
Are there any intact houses here?
There are none.
Can I go and scavenge?
You may try.
I just walk into one of the ruined houses.
Oh, there's no houses, but you can scavenge around. So there's just broken steps, what look to be steps leading up to the gallows, and just empty gallows sitting before you.
Is there a skull?
You see no actual remains of anyone, however there are graves nearby.
I need to go somewhere for 5 minutes. Let's make it 10.
Yes, you do that, awesome. Now I'm looking at the picture
just
and
what I'm gonna do.
Like I'm seeing like derelict houses here, or at least structures.
That's just some random ass gallows picture I found.
How do I whisper again?
I think /W my name, I think.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay. Yeah. Do yep.
I will see if I can.
Okay. Like I wasn't sure because I know you bought the Curse of Strahd pack on Roll20. I didn't know if all these pictures came with it.
No, like honestly, most of them are me photoshopping things together, or in this case, this was one I found on the internet.
Okay. No, but I was expecting more, seeing as Musetta said that there was civilization here.
He said the closest sign of civilization.
Oh, a sign. Sign. Okay.
Not a pun, but I mean, like, literally, this is the closest you'll find.
I think you just said to do that automatically and you don't even realize when you're punning anymore.
It's an accident, I swear. However, this is the closest that you can find any sort of human encampment within the night.
A human encampment. So,
like, literally, that everything else is just trodden dirt. This is the closest you'll see to anything that any human hands have made before you get to another village.
Is there any shelter whatsoever in this area?
Shelter, no. However, it is a forest clearing. You're able to see quite some distance to every side, which, as far as you know, is the safest that you can get, short of being inside of a village.
Well, we don't have any camping gear.
I will say that, we'll say that Irina and Ismark brought some with, just in case. Like, small pitch tentables, like blankets, etc.
So I don't know what.
Unrelated questions. These graves, do they have coffins?
You could assume that. Right now they're just mounds of dirt with little cheap wooden signs on top.
Yeah, I already DM'd what I'm doing, so I will eventually find out.
Sorry, I got several DMs going right now. Spoilers.
Well, because I know, like,
while I reply to these, why don't you guys discuss what you would wish to do?
Okay. Well, I'm guessing that it's not just Solomon, but the entire party must be pretty exhausted since we've been pretty much traveling for a day and a half without rest. So how about we just set up a sleep, like a watch schedule, but we have 2 people on watch instead of just 1 person on watch.
I'm okay with that.
Oh, I finally found out what bitumen is.
I will
Irina
take first watch.
Ismark volunteers to watch with you.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay, so first watch would be Rat and Ismark. Who would like to take second watch?
I shall take the second watch.
Alright, Sullivan will take the second watch with you.
Monkeys.
Oh, wait. Does that mean Fossil's going to be taking the third watch? With Irina?
Closest to morning, I assume.
I guess so. Alright, so, unless there's any objection, like, that's all Sullivan's focused on right now. You guys do whatever it is you want to do right now.
I'm already busy and I'm waiting for a reply from the DM.
1 second, sorry. Alright, so... Sorry, I got several DMs going,
Everybody having the attention of Caramel and I have an important thing going on here.
Well, no, the problem is that I was like, I wasn't prepared for some of the things you guys have done, yeah, which is normal, but I'm just like, oh god, how am I gonna fix this one?
Fair enough, fair enough.
I have 1 goal and 1 goal only.
Alright, so, first
Oh,
things
technically
first, the party has agreed to camp here for the night, yes?
Huzzah.
Yes.
Okay,
Indeed.
so, Fossil, you are going to, like, you have agreed to do third watch, so, do you wish to sleep first, or do you wish to take this watch and go digging first?
Cranky kind of cut out there.
I will sleep first.
Okay, so Fossil, you, while digging in the grave, you all of a sudden just fall over sideways and go to sleep. Like, you're like fingers halfway in the dirt.
Yeah.
Alright, everyone else goes to sleep except for Rat and Ismark, correct?
Yep.
Indeed. Oh, and by the way, do we get HP and such back?
This will be a long rest, so far yes, but we'll see when the night is over.
Yeah,
That's
like
fair
if we could get through all 3 watches without getting attacked, we should be fine.
Alright, while sleeping,
To be
Coco...
honest,
Sorry,
also
Sullivan,
looks
you
like in
have a
this call-
dream. Do you remember
also
this
already,
dream from before?
Hold up. Caramel said that I got a dream. Let's see. Is this the same dream I had like a few nights before?
It is. Everyone else that is sleeping remains dreamless. But you do remember this dream from before.
Yes.
It is. Everyone else that is sleeping remains dreamless. But you do remember this dream from before. It is. Everyone else that is sleeping remains dreamless. 1 second, let's see. Roll. Damn it. Ignore that.
What? How did you?
The first watch passes without incident. Sullivan and party, you awake.
All right, wait. I'm almost done reading this dream. I'm a slow reader.
Okay, no, take your time. Fossil, you didn't read anything.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do just. When I wake up, I'm just gonna do a perception check to see, what do I see around me.
All right, so give me a perception check, Sullivan.
I'm too sleepy. I'm still rubbing the
That's
sleep out of my eyes.
performance.
That's performance. I performed very poorly in my perception.
Yeah,
Well, I got a 5
Okay,
in my
fair enough.
perception.
Coco, you aren't certain, but something feels wrong. Like, you wake up blearily eyed and you sense that something that was there before, that was not there before, all of a sudden is, but you can't quite put your finger on it yet.
Sullivan puts on this mask.
Very well.
And,
All right.
Yeah, he'll go over to Musetta and is Musetta awake or is he still asleep?
Mazetta's asleep, unless he chose to take second watch.
No,
I can't remember who took what.
He chose
Okay.
second watch. Yeah. So Musetta, are you awake?
I am.
Okay. All right. Keep your eyes sharp. I sense something is amiss in the area.
I shall.
All right. Now who's on second watch?
That
That's
was me.
Sullivan and Musetta.
Okay. Rat and Ismark go. Oh, sorry. Rat and Ismark go to sleep. Rat, while you drift off to sleep, you as well receive a dream. 1 second. Boop. There you go.
Thanks.
I hate how much this rock fits with Fossil.
Wait, you got a rock fossil?
Well, for one of the spells, I need a bit of bitumen. And bitumen is just a black sticky rock.
The second watch passes without incident. Third watch has arrived.
Wait a minute. I'm writing something to you.
Okay, perfect. Everyone's snoring loudly. We're buying time. We're buying time. I should say,
Sullivan is going to do the rounds, and he's just going to check up on everybody's asleep to make sure that they're fine, they're still breathing.
If you're doing the round, Sullivan, give me another perception check.
17.
1 second.
Also, just for mental image reasons, wherever there is a hole inside of a tree, that's probably where you're gonna find Rat sleeping.
I fucking love that. There are no trees, thankfully, within quite some distance, ignoring the picture, of course. So you should be fine. Alright, Sullivan, you got a 17. As you search around the camp, you notice that on the gallows where once was no body, a body now stands.
Stands or hands?
It looks like a little bit of both.
Wait, so it's hanging, but his feet are on the ground.
Yep. It's a rather big body. You're pretty certain that you haven't seen it before. However, you're staring at it right now and wonder where it came from.
I'm keeping my distance, I have my hand on my weapon, and I look in the direction of the graveyard to see if any of the graves are undug.
You notice that none of the graves are undug except for the one that Fossil was clawing at furiously before she fell asleep.
Is Fossil
Also, I
still
want you to know I hate the fact that I see Cerelia do a stealth check. And the first thing that comes to mind was he's stealing something.
Why am I stealing something? You always expect me to steal something.
Because
You
Fossil
always
finds it.
do.
Yeah!
So
You must admit, a lot of your characters have been kleptomaniacs.
Well, you can't deny that. Okay, so what race is this body? It's like a
Human.
really big human? Is it an ogre? What is this thing?
It is a human.
Is it clothed?
It's clothed, but the problem is it's fuzzy. Like, not fuzzy as in it's covered in fur, fuzzy as in your eyes can't quite make it out entirely.
Like because of the
It's
distance, or is this
Glimesh.
like if there's something wrong with the body is making it look like it's not there?
The head is a little askew, but everything else looks to be normal, just almost as if it's a dream that you can't quite make out.
Without taking my eyes off the creature, I'm gonna like call out, not loudly, but try to call out to Musetta.
Mazetta, do you hear him?
Musetta, come here.
Well, I have slowly walked towards what was his name? Sullivan.
Tell me if my eyes are playing tricks on me, but was there not a body hanging from this noose before we slept?
A body? What are you talking about?
You do not see a body on this noose.
No, there's nothing. It's just a broken noose. What have you eaten?
Like Sullivan just kind of like looks at like Musetta, like kind of like a little bit of and not shock, but a little bit of surprise, and then back to the body.
Musetta walks over there and tries to prove that there's nothing. He's just putting his hand over there.
The hand travels through the body from Sullivan's point of view.
I told you, there is no body. It's just thin air.
He kind of like waves his hand like this. I guess the moonlight was playing a trick in my eyes. So forget I said anything.
You must be tired.
Sullivan, as you stare at the body, you see it raise its hand and wave, almost in a friendly gesture.
Like when it's waving, is it like mirroring me waving?
Nope, just a wave. As it lowers its hand, you notice the finger pointing towards the ground.
Where in the ground?
It's a little hard to tell. It's a silhouette from where you can see. Just pointing to the ground at its feet.
I'm very fearful that he's pointing towards me.
Well, this is at the hangman's noose, and you're all the way at the cemetery digging up stuff.
The cemetery is pretty much like right all around it. It's like within like 10 feet of the noose. This isn't exactly a like ostentatious place. It's just a whole bunch of graves dug around the noose.
I did a whoopsie.
Damn, we only had a priest. I knew it was folly to camp in a graveyard in this place, but we didn't see any other options.
Sullivan, do you wish to approach it or pretend it's not there?
Sullivan's going to approach it against his better judgment.
The closer you get, the more nondescript it remains.
The more nondescript, so it's getting less and less detailed as I get closer.
It's exactly the same. You can make out absolutely no new details.
I inspect the ground underneath him.
Directly underneath them, there doesn't appear to be anything. However, you do notice that there are 13 graves around. Each of them just scatterbrained around, and the finger doesn't appear to be pointing at any of them in particular, but it is slightly waggling.
God damn it, let me read the stream again. Hold up. Sorelli, you do whatever you're doing while I read this.
Okay, I shall. Musetta is basically just looking around.
Oh, 1 second. Sorry, cat aggro. Come on. Alright, there we go. That's all solved. Alright, is there anything else, or are we moving on to the next watch?
I don't think Sullivan's going to be able to sleep after that.
Sullivan can remain awake if he wishes to.
But he needs his spell slots. He really needs his spell slots.
If he wishes to.
Well, he also knows that there will be a next watch, so...
Can he go to the tombstones on a... So you said those 12 graves. Are the tombstones to the graves?
There are 13.
Okay, 13. Can he try to read the names on the tombstones?
You can try, but there's nothing there. You just see scratches. However, one of them doesn't have anything on it. It's just a pile of dirt.
I'm being called out over here.
You weren't specifically at that one. One of them just doesn't have any sort of marker headstone.
Does it look like freshly dug?
All of them appear to be roughly the same age.
Well, one is slightly younger because it's freshly opened. I mean, nothing.
Well, you...
Sullivan kneels down and begins to like shift through some of the dirt at the grave.
Which one? One with the headstone or the one without?
The one with no markings on it.
As you shift down into there, you notice that there is no grave, there's just moldy bones beneath. There appears to be no casket, no ceremony. This just appears to be a common pauper grave.
What?
A pauper?
Like a peasant.
Yep.
All poor people, pretty much. Okay, he's going to like put the dirt back, rebury it.
Do you wish to inspect the body, or do you just wish to bury it again?
Okay, yeah, do I notice anything weird with the body? I'll go ahead and do an investigation.
As you pry the body out, you notice that this was the punishment of a thief.
No, it has
You
no
notice
hands?
a satchel hanging on the body's back, tightly clasped. Odd that it's buried with it.
Curiosity's going to kill me here, but I am a cat. So I'm going to go ahead and inspect the satchel.
As you open the satchel, you'll notice within is a large book. The book appears to be ancient, but it doesn't appear brittle at all. Within, the vellum pages are as strong as the day that they were written. Page after page after page of flowing script follows before you, and you remember a certain someone telling you something about a crossroads of life and death. You have a feeling that this book is quite special in some way.
Okay, I gotta go back into my notes to see what that fortune teller was saying before. Let's see. Card of Knowledge, 9 Swords, Torturer. There's a town where all is not well, the celebration of joy, blah 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 blah. 7 coins, the thief. What you seek lies at the crossroads of life and death among the buried dead. Okay, so that's exactly what you just reminded me of. 8, the Glyph of Bishop.
I figured I would be a little heavy-handed since it was so long ago.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just gonna read ahead on other things because these might apply very soon. 8, the Glyph's Bishop. What you seek lies in the pile of treasure beyond a set of amber doors, in a place long forgotten by the light of any god. Strahd's enemy artifact. Look for an entertaining man with a monkey. He has more than he seems.
Monkey.
Funny how Fossil said monkey earlier, too.
And then Strahd's location.
Oh no, but that was because I was googling stuff and I saw monkey wallpaper.
I know, it's literally just funny.
And then there's the broken one. He haunts the tomb of the one who held Tatiana's hand, the man whom he envied above all. Right, we had a pretty big discussion about this one.
You did?
Yeah, I remember it now when you mention it. Because we thought that Tatiana's ex-lover was killed by Strahd, or that...
And it might have been Strahd's brother.
Or brother, right?
Yeah, the
older
Strahd
brother.
envied him. Was it his? Like, it was a long time ago we had this conversation. I'm trying to remember.
We
exactly.
thought it was a brother, yeah.
You specifically asked Madame Eva if it was his brother, and all she did was smile.
Yeah.
Let's go for what do you think?
Can Sullivan understand any of the languages in the book?
You may try and open it, yes.
Wait. Is there a title on the cover?
There is no title.
Got it.
However, you do notice a very specific sigil on front of it, which appears to be the same sigil that you've seen scrawled in several places around.
Do I remember what
Is
the
there
sigil
perhaps
is from?
someone that's in your party who's with you who would recognize that sigil?
Oh my god. Okay. I love the subtlety, by the way. Muzetta.
I can't tell if that was sarcasm or not.
Oh,
Huh?
it totally was not. Okay.
That
Muzetta.
was definitely sarcasm.
Because I'm so
you-
thick, it's
can
fucking
you
butter.
can you come over here? Do you recognize this sigil on this book?
Mazetta, you would recognize this as the sigil of the House of Strahd.
I do. Where did you find that?
Let's say I instincts and visions. It was within the satchel in this grave.
Are you standing with the sigil of Strahd?
It's odd that a book with sigil of Strahd will be buried here in a pauper's grave.
Feels disrespectful to call it a poplar.
No, not a popular pauper. They're not real people, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah, that's what I said, a poplar.
Isn't that like the Futurama thing? Poplars. They're eating aliens.
Poplars?
Those are poplars.
Yes, they were those little creatures that they ate like popcorn.
Yeah.
And then it appeared that they were basically fucking embryos.
Guys?
Yes. Do you have to get going?
Indeed.
Ah, Christ.
Well,
Okay.
thanks for joining, Sor.
Now, like before you get going, there was something that Muzetta was doing. Did you want to play that out before you leave?
He just tried to hide in case anything came. He knows the area, he knows the dangers. So he just tried to see if he could be a bit more stealthy than just walk around making noise and such.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say, oh, he was just trying to hide other people's possessions in his pocket. All right.
Oh, come on, man.
I kid. All right, well, you have a good night, Sorelli. Thanks for showing up.
Thanks, Sor. Have a good one, man.
Thanks.
Alright.
Take care.
So, I'm sorry I'm chewing up so much time here, but I would like to cast a ritual, detect magic on the book before I open it and read it.
Very well. How long does the ritual take?
10 minutes.
Alright, you
surprised-
begin to cast the ritual.
I'm surprised that you didn't ask Vossel to open it.
You're
Fossil's asleep.
Sullivan made.
Yeah, but there will be in watch shift.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, well, one, it's not your your sleep. Sullivan, like, he may treat Fossil like some bratty kid with social issues, but he doesn't hate Fossil.
You're all ready, kid.
Well, you see? Right there. Only a bratty kid would say that. Yeah, no, but like I said, like, he doesn't hate Fossil. Fossil's still part of his team. Like I said, he's just like the bratty kid sister in the group who has social issues.
You must admit, I played well.
Yes. Okay, so cast and detect magic on the book.
Alright, you begin to cast Detect Magic. Do you wish to continue to... So we can see how everyone wants to sleep or rest. Do you wish to go to sleep after Detect Magic, or do you wish to stay awake for this?
Well, typically a watch would take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, depending on how long the long rest is going to be.
Okay, that's valid. So in that case, we'll just say you successfully cast Detect Magic. You
Yeah.
notice that this book is awash in ancient magic, like teeming with it.
Okay, now with detect magic, I could tell what schools of magic, like if that's important at all.
This is not really particularly any school.
Okay.
You notice that it doesn't really have any spells within it, only that it was crafted by a hand teeming with magic.
Yeah. He's going to open up the book and check out what's inside.
The pages all appear to be blank. However, as you stare at the first one, little by little words begin to appear as if blood seeping through pages. Do you wish to read them?
Against his better judgment, yes.
One by one, the words come into focus. You hear them as if in your head from the voice of Strahd himself. I am ancient. I am the land. My beginnings are lost to the darkness of the past, but for here my own remembrance I record my tale of woe. For as the countless centuries pass, I fear even my own memory may one day begin to fade. As this curse takes everything from me, I feel evermore that I'm sustained by hatred, and hatred alone. I must try to remember my true purpose and the treachery of those who brought me to this. The words may fear no more.
And does it keep going on like that, or is that the only thing we get?
There are several more pages, however, you're not entirely certain what will cause the rest to appear.
Okay, I'm going to cast one more ritual on it. I'm going to cast the Identify spell on it. Try to get any more information from this book, or about this book as possible.
You would know just by casting the Identify spell that this is more or less a diary. The Tome of Strahd, you believe it's called. It doesn't appear to have any specific magic source other than that of information. However, it appears to be trying to closely guard its secrets.
Okay, would I know if there's like a certain kind of password, or a type of magical password or key phrase or key to unlock more information?
Give me high or low.
Give it to me high.
I knew you were going to say that, but I had to ask anyways. Alright, so let's see.
Give me a 5.
Show me potato salad. You would know that there's nothing particular, however, you have the feeling that just it being near the wearer will cause it to open in time.
Being near the wearer,
or the person carrying it, causes it to open in time,
or
as if it becomes more familiar with you.
so I need to attune myself to it.
Basically, yes.
Okay, Identify would tell me if I needed to attune.
The problem is attune is a clumsy word for that because it just, more or less, you can tell that the book itself is almost alive in the sense that it needs to feel comfortable around you.
In other words, be nice to it. In other words, it will never open.
Okay, now with the combination of Detect Magic and Identify, can I tell if there's any kind of tracking spells on this book?
You can tell that there is no tracking on it. Strahd himself's arrogance would believe that no one would carry this with him.
Alright, well, Sullivan's going to put it in his satchel filled with all his other books.
Very well.
And yeah, I guess he's just going to finish his watch. When he can, he's going to keep taking a peek at the book to see what he can figure out.
As you continue to peek at the book, you can see some words struggling to come forth, but at the same time sort of fading back into memory. Perhaps you can try again later.
Right, and that's it for me.
Alright.
I really want the words that appear to be just something like done by Betamax.
Eat at Joe's. Oh, that's cryptic.
Like, don't coin was a mistake.
Yeah, Joe's got a mistake. Alright. So, Sullivan, you wish to go finish your rest. And now the third watch has started. I believe that would be Rat and Fossil.
I've already did a watch.
Oh, that's right.
With
You
the
did
one
first.
with the woman we were with.
Yeah, it's Fossil and Isabel.
Alright, Fossil. You awake, and you find your fingers halfway into the dirt.
I continue.
Alright, you begin scrabbling. Roll me a d20.
Okay.
You find nothing of use except for moldy bones within this dirt. There is no casket, only a body within dirt.
Is there a skull?
There's a skull.
Guess what I'm gonna ask.
You may. It is now in your inventory. It weighs 2 pounds.
Alright, let's go back. Skull. And you already know what I'm gonna do with the skull.
You have a charcoal stick in your inventory. Go for it. Alright.
Some kind of ink.
Is there
I
anything
remember
else
that.
you'd like to do, Fossil?
I would like to sit next to the woman and just ask how you're doing.
To Irina?
Mm-hmm.
Irina looks at you and smiles gently, and she touches your hair. She says to herself, I'm tired of being hunted, however, it's nice to have someone who actually has hope. Hope is just so rare here. I'm not used to it. Then she smiles and looks at the moon.
Well, being carefree is... it is easy to be hopeful if you're carefree.
She looks at you with genuine warmth in her eyes and says, I like that about you. I think I could learn a lot.
Sometimes you just need to entertain yourself, no matter how stupid, morbid, or just dumb it may seem, and I basically show her the skull.
He giggles, and then takes the skull into her hands. Then tosses it back to you playfully.
Hey.
I don't think I need any more of these in my life, but you go ahead and have fun.
Hey. Want an acorn seed?
She gratefully takes it and stuffs it in her mouth and chews loudly like a cow to entertain you.
Hey.
Fossil's become a role model.
Where are the pumpkin seeds that we have? Holy shit, I have 32 pumpkin seeds! I forgot about that! Oh Christ, I need to put in weight value to them. And
She seems impressed with
0.01.
your ability to find food, and again crams it in her mouth as comically as possible. You would never think that you'd find friends here in a place like this. Alright, fine. I'll keep talking, I'm rolling something.
As long as you're yourself and don't try to pretend anything you're not, you'll find people that will stick to you. You know, like honey.
You're a lot wiser than your party tells me you are. I like that.
Yeah, people are always surprised when I do this.
Perhaps if you fed them some of these, she says as she reaches into your pack to pull out some more acorn seeds.
Yeah, I highly doubt they want them. I highly doubt it.
Alright, rolls are with us today. The third wasp passes without incident. The sun begins to rise on the horizon. Irina stands and dusts off her legs and looks at you. I suppose we should wake up the others.
I hold up one finger. Can I do a stealth check?
You may.
Oh my god, what are you gonna do with that finger?
As I say,
Would this be enough to sneak up to Coco's character?
Irina doesn't notice you lift up your finger, and Sullivan, give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Right. I'm gonna say no. Sullivan's asleep. I don't think.
Right, but the thing is only because he's, from what I remember, even when asleep, he's like got soldier senses and everything. That's why I'm saying disadvantage.
Oh shit.
You are absolutely able to sneak up on him.
Okay.
Don't kill me.
No, I'm not gonna shove my finger anywhere. Don't worry about that.
Well, I got a crit 1, so I'm worried that whatever you were trying to do might accidentally kill me.
Remember those acorns I had earlier?
Oh my god. Yeah, I do.
Well, I put one in each hand, quickly shove them up the nose, and start shaking his head violently.
What the hell? Fossil!
Wakey, wakey!
Why are my nose? He's just gonna pop the egg. What the hell? Yeah.
What can I say? Squirrels.
Alright, the sound of Sullivan noisily waking wakes up the rest of the party.
Brad falls out of his hole and just rolls on the floor laughing their ass off.
One of these days, Fossil. One of these days. And he puts he puts the acorns in his pocket. He's not going to trust Fossil with these acorns now.
I was just going to say, does Fossil want to eat them or take them back?
Oh no, he can keep them.
Just because you rolled it so low.
I don't know what has been up his nose. I don't want those acorns anymore.
Naughty acorns in pocket now. The sun has now risen. It's still early morning, but the party is now waking. Some of them more grumpy than others because of the rather rude way that Sullivan was awoken. They notice several disturbed graves around them, the people who were asleep, and look around questioningly.
Nothing to be too worried about. It was an interesting night, but uneventful. we should carry on to Valkyrie.
Ismark looks at Fossil's dirtied hands and just shrugs and seems to have a face like, yeah, that's probably it.
She needed a replacement.
Alright. The brother and sister gather up their blankets and tent poles and begin packing their belongings once again. They look to each of you and basically ask, if it's okay with you, we'd choose not to go back to Barovia unless absolutely necessary. I'm quite certain that Strahd's spies are nearby.
I agree. I think we should take the mountain path to head to
Alkali.
Yes, that.
Alright.
I'll remember this word eventually. Valkyrie.
It's all good. Yeah, checking out my notes here. Okay, 1 second. It has been a bit over an hour. Would you guys like to take a quick 5-minute break before we go to part 2?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Alright, I figured people had to go take a pee or something.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and shift over to intermission mode. So, back in 5.
Alright, we'll see you soon.
And we're back from intermission, everybody. Alright, so Caramel, where do we leave off?
Where we left off is our party has just finished packing up their supplies from a night camping out at a haunted graveyard. There's a gallows nearby, and one of our members may have found something in a grave nearby. Whether or not he decides to talk about it, who knows? But, scene. It is now morning. Everyone is preparing to venture off to the mountains to reach the village of Valkyrie.
Yes, Musetta, please lead the way.
Mazetta sort of performs a gesture brow and starts leading off and following the sign of the trail up to the mountains.
And I'm just
Irina and Ismark fall in line behind him.
Yeah, Sullivan's just going to do a general perception check to keep an eye out for any ravens or any other creatures that might be watching us.
Give me a perception check.
4.
You notice nothing.
He's too distracted by the book he's carrying in his bag.
That is entirely valid. Sullivan, give me one more perception check because of that.
Alright. 18.
You notice the book feels oddly warm. You can feel it through your satchel. You don't remember it having any temperature other than just, well, book temperature.
Okay. As the party marches, Sullivan's just going to slow down a little bit to, get to the back of the party and pull the book out.
The book is pretty much piping hot in your touch. Not uncomfortable, just extraordinarily warm.
It's going to flip through the pages.
You notice, again, as if blood seeping through the parchment itself, more words begin to appear after the paragraph before you. Once again, as if reading it directly into your head, you hear the voice of Strahd as the words appear one by one. I was a warrior. I was good and I was just. I thundered across the land like the wrath of a mighty god. But the warring years and the killings weighed on my soul. My campaigns, my responsibilities, my family honor, they wore me down as the wind wears stone to dust. I found my youth and strength dwindling, and in time all goodness began to slip from my life. My army settled in the valley of Barovia and took power over the people here. I erected a mighty monument to my house, Castle Ravenloft. I called for my family, long unseated from their rightful thrones, and brought them here to rule again as they once did. They brought with me my brother, Sergei. He was a handsome and youthful and reminded me that I was no longer. I quickly grew to hate him. But I looked towards other matters. From the families of the valley, one spirit shone above all others, a rare beauty. Among the villagers, she was called a joy and a treasure. I called her perfection. Her name was Tatiana. The book cools once more and the words stop appearing.
Ren, we were right. It was his brother.
Called it. I've read enough books to know where shit's going.
There's always some smart person.
Alright, so the words fade away.
The words still remain, but nothing new appears and the book cools.
Called me smart.
You're a smarty pants.
Don't give her an ego.
Sullivan's going to approach Ismark and Isabel. Ismark, Isabel. I got a few questions on Strahd. How much do you know about his past?
Ismark looks to Irina and says, I'm afraid it's hard to tell myth from fact around here. The demagoguery itself, if you will, is rather, shall we say, slated to make him look better than he is. I will tell you what I know. However, I'm afraid I can't tell you if it's truth.
Do you know if he had a brother?
They appear to be taken aback for a second. A brother? No, as far as I know, Strahd was the only one of his line.
And this woman Tatiana he spoke of when he ambushed us at the Vaskani camp. Do you recognize his name?
I suggest we continue forward. It's dangerous on these trails, Ismark says quickly and turns around.
Irina.
Irina follows wordlessly.
Sullivan's not going to give up on this. He's just going to keep approaching them. It's like, what do you know about Tatiana?
Do you tell that within Ismark or to Irina?
Irina. I keep calling her Isabel, but I mean Irina.
It's all good. Irina slows down a little bit, slower and slower, until she's sort of out of earshot of Ismark and begins to talk to you. Truth be told, Adventurer, I'm not entirely certain. He says that name over and over. I know he wishes my hand for what I don't know other than in marriage. However, it's for weeks he assaulted our manor. Surely you remember. Tatiana, he screamed thirstfully, bloodily, over and over until I could no longer take it. I don't know. I'm sorry. All I know is that maybe he believes that to be my name.
Alright, I'm going to show her the book. Like, I found this previously, and I believe it to be a journal of some kind.
Tatiana takes the book in her hands. Her eyes light up. Oh, a book of such fine craftsmanship. You don't know how rare this is. She begins flipping through its pages and seems disappointed that they appear to be mostly empty. She reads the paragraphs that have appeared before you, and her eyes grow a little bit more sharp. I'm sorry, Sullivan. I don't know. This is new to me too. She hands the book carefully back to you.
Oh.
She does seem a little bit perplexed at seeing Tatiana written so forcefully.
Now, okay, this is me, the player, forgetting this. But Ismark's and Tatiana's relationship, were they a blood brother and sister? Like, there was something weird about their family.
Ismark alluded, but did not say directly. However, you do notice that they look nothing alike. Tatiana is dark skin, dark hair, well, darker skin, dark hair, whereas Ismark is bright blonde, very pale. You would remember from seeing the corpse of their father in the manor that he appeared to look just like his father. Irina looks nothing like either of them.
Alright. Right now, Sullivan's thinking, like, Ismark knows something, and he's not letting up on it. He's not even letting
Irina seems a bit distrustful of Ismark on that as well. This is why she's slowed down.
Okay. Sullivan takes the book back and just kind of nods, like, we should hurry to Valkyrie.
Pardon me, Sullivan, it sounds weird. Is the book warm to you?
Yes.
Interesting. We should keep an eye on that. She eyes the book as you put it back in your satchel.
Yeah, I've learned not to take anything for granted in this realm.
Probably a good idea. Wits keep one alive.
Yes, if it's in Latin, don't read it out loud. Seen too many horror movies to know that. So, Sullivan's gonna go back to the rest of the group, and he is going to mention all of this to Rat.
Okay.
Try to keep Rat up to date.
Perfect. Do you wish to show Rat the book, or are you just saying it to her? Sorry, to them.
I'll mention it to Rat. It's like, because right now I think at this point we should keep our eyes out, like looking down at a book might draw too much attention. I'm worried about Ismark at this point. I won't trust him.
Ismark saw you reading it earlier, but he didn't really seem to pay too much mind.
Yeah, so I think if I keep showing the book to everybody else in the party, it might bring up some questions. So
entirely valid.
So I'll mention it to Rat. I know Rat trusts Sullivan.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm done taking up the screen.
Fossil, Rat, do you care to do anything?
Can I still just go around scavenging?
I assume that you are literally zigzagging across the path the entire time.
Yeah.
If it's not tied down, you're picking it up and stuffing it in your mouth.
Or in my pocket if it's not edible.
Yeah,
Rat?
I'm curious, like how strong is Fossil? Just how much crap can she carry?
I'm short stacked.
Well, Rat actually is scavenging for food, considering we need to eat. Something we've been forgetting the entire time so far.
Oh wait, that's right.
You've been in town pretty much the entire time so far.
Yeah, but they are gonna scavenge for food a little bit. And just pay attention to the surrounding area that they're in.
That's
Make
right.
sure nothing sneaks up behind them.
Yeah, I'm reducing my
Give me a
rations by
perception check, Rat.
Okay.
With advantage.
Get you first up. Shot.
Alright, let's see here. Oh, that's about the same. Rat, you are very unsettled by the sense of undead nearby.
My favorite enemy.
Let's say, like, you know it's approaching from the path from which you once came. As you head up to the mountains of Valkyrie, you know that it's coming from where the crossroads once were in that general direction, but you don't see anything quite yet.
Okay, so I notice something is behind us. I try to very sneakily let the others know that we are being followed.
You do so.
Okay. I first go to Sullivan and say that I can smell something foul, something that makes me want to attack. And to the other ones, I just go to and say that they should keep their eyes open and watch their backs, mostly.
Okay, when Rat mentions that, Sullivan puts on his lion mask.
Figured you would.
Irina and Ismark ask the party and Rosetta if you wish to go back and fight it or wish to keep pushing forward.
I believe.
Could I be able to tell with the 15 how many there are behind us, or is it just a sense of unease?
Sense of unease.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a ranger ability Rat has where they can do like a tracking thing and actually tell the number of things.
All right.
Yeah, there is primal awareness or something.
How is it worded?
Okay, hold up. Let me just get it. It's in my class.
I'm also looking it up.
Up to 6 miles. Doesn't
6 miles. Okay. Yeah.
Number, but I also have something else.
Okay, beginning at 3rd level, you can use your action to expend 1 ranger spell slot to focus your awareness on a region around you. For 1 minute per level of the spell slot you expend, you can sense whether the following types of creatures are present within 1 mile of you, or within up to 6 miles if it is your favorite terrain. You know,
if it's within that range, you can absolutely tell that what is there.
Okay, because this is my favorite terrain, wooded area.
You would know beyond a shadow of a doubt that there is only one creature heading towards you. However, you can tell it is also quite powerful.
Okay, I relay that to Sullivan and say it's just one, but it's wrong.
I believe haste would be the better option here.
I agree.
Alright. So now we're gonna, Coco, if you wouldn't mind helping with that, we're going to do a difficulty skill check. As you did before, we're going to start hastily making our way up this rocky mountain path.
A skill challenge.
Seeing if we can't outrun this thing.
Alright.
Skill challenge!
Do we have music to go with this?
I do not, so I'm just putting on the different sort of woodland sound effect.
Oh yeah, I want you to know earlier when you all were going to drink, for some reason the background music turned into this weird sloshing noise. Like a Jeanette's cube was coming by or something.
It's Glabagul trying to make his way in.
Yeah, but I was just chilling, suddenly I heard a noise. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Just FYI, if we ever do go back to Out of the Abyss, I do have plans with Glabagul.
Yeah.
Yes! Okay, we need to go back. We need to go back. Alright, so what we're going to do for this skill challenge, we are going to have 3 successes and 3 failures. With 3 successes, it will leave you behind. With 3 failures, you will face whatever's behind you. So, the challenge is that this is a not very well-worn path. There's rocks everywhere. There's just a whole bunch of crap in the way. There's woods. It's just like climbing up a freaking mountain, but not quite as difficult. Coco, describe to us how you would ascend this path.
Well, being a wizard, he's not very physically adept. Let's see. Crap, I don't... Shit. Shit. Nope, that's not gonna... No. Oh, okay. He's going to use his investigation skill to try to find, like, the least, like, hazardous path there is on this trail.
I love it. How did you do it before? Over 10 or under 10 for failure?
No, that's up to you. You set a difficulty check that we have to try to meet or beat.
Let's go with, just because this is superstitious and gothic, 13. If it meets or beats 13, you're good. If it's 11 to or 1 to 12, it does not.
24.
You easily find a way up the path and usher your companions up that path.
Get on my level.
Pretty much a natural born mountain goat, this guy.
Almost like a mountain cat.
Almost, but not quite. Much less cute. Alright, Rats.
Have you
Describe to us
seen
how
the
you would help your
picture
party.
that zombie girl Drew O'Sullivan? It's right there on stream.
Oh, I have it! Oh, wait, oh, that one, yes, okay, I was thinking that she drew a new one. Yes, that one is adorable, but cats are still cuter.
I would use my survival skills from being homeless to seek a better path for the rest of the party.
That's a little too similar to what Sullivan just did.
Okay, let me try something
I'm just gonna
else.
walk
Was he
the path
homeless?
because-
And while Rat's thinking of that too, Fossil, start thinking of what you would do as well.
I would just walk the path because I have a trait that makes difficult terrain just normal terrain for me.
How will that help your party, though? Remember, everyone has to get through.
It's a skill
okay.
challenge, so you need to figure out a way how to incorporate that into one of your skills.
Exactly. So,
What
like,
if-
it's not just you.
What if I use my survival to point out to Sullivan which surfaces are slippery or not?
Wouldn't that be insight?
That's also fine.
Fuck it. Why not? Let's go for it. So, like, sort of you're able to point out, like, hey, these rocks could be slippery. This could cause an avalanche. This could be unwise to do. Not okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. As long as it's insight. You pass.
All I can think of is to use persuasion to be like, come on, everybody, we can do it.
That is fossil enough that I believe that would work.
You're trying to
like,
build
sort of
morale.
a morale
Also,
boost.
will just race forward because she has no problem with difficult terrain.
That is entirely fair by me. Go for it. You pass.
Easy.
With the lusty battle cry from Fossil and the deft eye and perception of your other party members, you scramble up the mountain path. Sullivan, Rat, you notice that the creature is still there but has stopped moving. It appears to have been like, nah.
I do want you to know that I'm suddenly reminded of that one video of like, basically there is this stone wall and people have to put on this metal chain to pull themselves up, and then there's this one monk that just walks up that stone on bare feet, like it's nothing.
Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Alright, perfect.
Video.
You scramble along the mountain path, quickly evading your pursuer. Everyone knows that this is dangerous to move as quickly as you do. However, you trust in each other and you find yourselves, after quite some time, face to face with the river Atser far below you. In front of you lies a large bridge. 1 second.
Found it.
The bridge is stone and spans across the entirety of the river, crashing below the waterfall thousands of feet below.
Okay, is this the same bridge we saw previously when we got attacked?
It is.
Okay.
You can see the river far below. Can't quite make out anything in particular, however you would remember that is the bridge below that had collapsed. This bridge appears to be sturdy and well maintained.
Is there anybody on the bridge? Or is it just all...
Give me a perception check.
21.
You are fairly certain that there is no one or anything on this bridge.
Musetta, please lead the way.
Mazetta bows slightly and marches forward confidently across the bridge. He beckons everyone to follow.
Sullivan is going to try to stay away from the edges of the bridge.
Probably a good idea. As you cross the bridge, the mists of the water rise up. It is freezing, frigid and cold. But you cross the bridge successfully and begin down the path once more.
No, I'm curious. Is this another picture you just got off online, or is this part of the Strahd mod?
Online and heavily photoshopped.
Okay, because I was about to ask questions about these statues here, if those are important.
Like, I thought about photoshopping those out, but they was way too much work for this one image already. Like, I photoshopped a lot of shit out of and into this picture.
Nope, it's more work than I.
So we'll just say those are giant statues of what you would now know as Strahd. Seems like something he would do.
I must say I need to give you kudos because I cannot tell what you photoshopped in or out.
I am very glad, thank you.
Oh,
a lot of the trees, some of the waterfalls, I photoshopped out in a cottage.
Here, it's right there too, over here.
Coco. Alright,
well,
fine.
Of course you noticed.
I mean, you know, I'm saying the Caramel did an acceptable job.
Only
job.
acceptable.
Come on, give us some credit.
Aw. See, I would be suspicious if Coco ever gave me credit for anything. If, other than that's his default.
I mean, this is a passing grade, you know. So I don't know.
You sound like my high school teacher.
Disappointed. I'm just not impressed.
It's just what I expected.
Alright, 1 second. I forgot one thing. Oh, there we go, perfect. So, as you pass across the bridge and head down the path to the other side, you notice there's a fork in the road before you. You know that you're traveling north thanks to the skillful direction of Bozetta, and as you reach the crossroads, you once again notice a fork in the path. To the east, leading off to what the direction of Barovia would be, Castle Ravenloft stands as if a lance piercing the sky. To the west, a path leads into the forest. Mazetta motions and says, "This is the way to Valkyrie," and turns to face you.
How many hours would you say?
Mazetta seems to consider it and says, "I would say probably another day's march. Castle Ravenloft, I'm afraid I can't tell you. Maybe a couple hours."
Is there any place we could camp in between here and there?
Mazetta slowly shakes his head and says, "Nothing would ever camp this close to Castle Ravenloft and expect to remain a permanent structure."
Then we should make haste.
Rest of the party, which would you prefer to do? Head to the east towards Ravenloft or to the west towards Valkyrie?
Well, we need to go to Valkyrie, so...
Yeah, we're going to... Well, I'm choosing Valkyrie.
Perfect. I will remind you earlier, Strahd did personally extend you an invitation to his home.
Yeah, but I also know that you don't want us to split the party. So I'm just gonna...
That's metagaming.
Well, I personally would like to go to Ravenloft, but that's not something Rat would do. Rat is a bit more passive and mostly freak the fuck out why Strahd is taking such a big interest in them.
Well, I think we both know why.
I mean, I do, but I also feel like there's something more to it than just being a Dampier.
Oh, this is so much fun. I love it.
I'm also thinking about the what you call it, the fortune we were told. The bishop. What you seek lies in a pile of treasure beyond a set of amber doors, in a place long forgotten by the light of any god. And this, I mean, it might sound kind of railroady, but I think this does push us towards Strahd's castle.
Yeah.
But I don't see any reason our characters would want to go anywhere near there.
Not to mention, that's assuming you would know what the castle Ravenloft even looks like. All you can see from afar are dark spires heading towards the sky.
So, as far as safety goes, I think Valkyrie is the only reasonable place to go.
Mm-hmm.
Although I still don't quite trust Ismark. Like, I trust that he wants to keep his sister safe. For what, like, if the reason is because they're siblings, or if there's any other reason, I don't know that. And we're just a means to the end at that point.
Entirely fair suspicions.
But
alright, well, it sounds as if your party has decided so far to go towards Valkyrie. However, Fossil, you have not yet cast a vote. Do you wish to head towards the east, towards Castle Ravenloft, or to the west, towards the village of Valkyrie?
The village, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, Strahd,
you explained this.
Yeah, Strahd is
oh,
an
I'm
evil.
sorry, you first?
Yeah, Strahd is an evil we know. Ismark is still a question mark.
Yeah.
As you...
we need to be choosing between a known evil and might be evil.
Yeah.
Entirely valid.
Basically, we have two poisons, and I'm going to pick with the one that is unknown.
Yeah, maybe this
Ismark agrees with your decision.
Alright, so unless there's any other objections, that's what we're going to keep going. Sullivan, in case you forgot, Caramel, he does have several different books in his bag because of the faction he's a part of. He's going to start writing down notes amongst those books, particularly the blue book. If you look at my character sheet, it tells you like the color of the books and what they're really made for. Used
I
for.
will do so.
And he is going to keep stuff in the, well, let's see, the red one makes sense he will. So yeah, he's writing in all three books actually, red, blue, and black.
Perfect. Okay, I'm glad you remembered because I sure as hell didn't, but I will keep that in mind going forward.
Yeah, essentially he's just keeping track of everything that's going on.
Perfect. Alright, and I swear that this is the DM speaking. We don't have too much longer to go, don't worry you guys. I will not be keeping you here forever, because I know it's late for you guys.
It's only 10:20.
Only 10:20. Why not just like, normally we make these like 5-6 hours sometimes. I won't be doing that, so don't worry about the time. I am being cognizant about that.
Yeah, only 10:20. The old man in this meeting is like, I'll be asleep like an hour ago by now. I got work
no,
early
the
in
old
the
lady
morning.
bones should say like, I should be asleep, and I'm like, no, I stay up till 1 a.m. anyways.
It's irresponsible to be awake this late.
It's so funny.
You kids
All
don't know
right.
anything about responsibility.
If responsibility would mean doing housework and not playing D&D.
Hush.
Tell me I'm wrong. Alright,
Anyway.
It sounds as if you're decided to continue off towards the west. You explain this to your NPC friends, who both agree with you and shudder at the thought of going to Castle Ravenloft. You can tell it in their faces, and they're more than eager to follow you off to the path to the west. A short shot through the woods, you come once again to a gate before you. You remember seeing a gate similar to this when you first arrived in this strange land. A long stone wall with an iron portcullis set beneath it. Two giant statues, their heads removed, stand guard soundlessly before them.
Ismark, is this where you claim that to keep your sister safe?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Is this where you claim that will keep your sister safe?
Where I claim to be is far beyond these gates, in the village of Valkyrie. Strahd doesn't necessarily trust anyone within his most imminent domain and prefers to keep these gates up along paths. Whether to intimidate, whether he built them himself, I'm afraid I do not know.
Now, again, is this something you got off online, or is this part of the Strahd module?
Both. It's offline Photoshop.
All
So
right.
I changed the colors, I added some birds,
Okay,
I did a
so
whole
the
bunch of stuff.
statues again. No.
Yeah, I just got really lucky that the description just happened to have statues. I was like, oh, thank God, I don't
Okay,
have to
so the
Photoshop
statues
those in.
are in the description of the module,
Yes.
and the heads were taken out.
Yes. So what it is this is a fan-made one. I just edited some other things. So this is someone else made something for Ravenloft specifically for this.
Okay. Are those statues supposed to represent anything against Strahd?
They don't appear to look like him. They just appear to be soldiers.
Well, I'm curious because their heads are cut off, and Sullivan wants to know why are their heads cut off.
Ismark would shake his head and say, I'm not entirely certain, Sullivan. It's much as mystery as it is to you to me that they've been that way since I've been alive, and my father before him, the heads have just gone. If I was to hazard a guess, it's any statue made in this realm not bearing the likeness of Strahd is considered heretical.
Is there any kind of iconography on the statues or on the walls?
There is not that you can see. Everything just appears to be old, worn down, and vine overgrown.
If I recall, we ran into a set of doors similar to this far early in our travels in this land. When we were heading towards Barovia. And you claim that there's walls like this all around the realm?
From the best of my knowledge, I, as you, may not go anywhere near the mists. However, on each side of Barovia, I have witnessed these gates. I am no experienced woodsman, you see. I have not gone beyond the path, so I can't tell you how far these extend. However, on the main road from Barovia to Valkyrie, this gate does pass before all.
It's almost as if they're trying to trap people within Barovia.
Metaphorically, we already are, friend.
But there are gates here that lead away from it. Gates previously that we approached before we got to Barovia.
I know the gate of which you speak, friend. Unfortunately, I have only been beyond that to be encountered by a wall of mist myself. Only the Vistani would know otherwise.
With that, I look over to Musetta. Do you know anything about this, Musetta?
I have not found it necessary to travel beyond the mists, Musetta says, cryptically.
Well, unless there's anything Fossil or Rat want to do, I think we should approach the gates.
I'm good.
Okay, so that's a thumbs up from Rat. Fossil?
Yep.
Perfect. 1 second. As you pass to the gates before you, you notice that they seem closed. The gates before you were closed as well, however, there appears to be no lock, just gates.
Sullivan tries to push it open.
The gate easily opens before you.
Now these are gates they look so big that it shouldn't be easily opened, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Like big iron rusty portcullises.
Well, I take this that we're invited to go through. What do we see on the other side?
The other side is a twisting wooden path leading off into the forest. You can see no other discernible landmarks.
Musetta, is Valkyrie beyond these gates?
Musetta nods emphatically. About a day's ride, I believe.
How long have we been traveling so far?
This would be approximately 2 days. But keep in mind, that was you taking a long rest, that was being ambushed, that was meeting Strahd, stopping with Ostani, etc., etc.
Well, since the last time we rested, how long have we been traveling?
It is now late afternoon, so most of a day.
We're gonna need to set up camp pretty soon.
Ismark nods at you and says, This is probably the only structure between Vocally and Ravenloft, so I'd prefer at least one wall at my back as opposed to none.
Yeah, let's go through the gates and set up camp on the other side.
As you travel through the gates, Rat, give me a perception check.
Bon chef.
I have no idea what word you just used there.
Neither do I.
Bon chef. It's something I say at work. Van yes, chef. Understood.
Oh, okay. I was like, it's C.
Don't know how to spell draconic?
No, it's just something that it's really hard to not do, even though I'm not at work. I keep doing it to my friends as well.
Rat, as you pass through the gate, you wonder why you hadn't noticed before, but there is once again a malevolent and undead presence nearby.
Okay. I turn in my heels towards Sullivan and say, I just smell more death. And I'm getting antsy. And they take out their bow and arrow and start circling, trying to determine where it's coming from.
And that's on the other side of the gates, right?
Correct. On the far side of the gate, which you are traveling to.
Is there anything
So
like...
Where's it?
Like on these walls, is there any place that we could actually enter the walls, like any barricade? Not barricades,
like like holes or doors or anything?
Yeah, like any kind of structures where like people can man the gates.
No structures, and you can't see the top. However, there are vines from which you believe you might be able to climb and scale the wall. But those are only old growth vines, and you can't be certain of their stability.
How far can you tell the stench?
Within a mile, you would be able to tell.
Yeah, very close. I could hit it. I could check it out.
Keep in mind, a mile is pretty big.
Rad doesn't care.
Or technically, a longbow has a range of 600 max. It would be 600 feet.
Yeah, but it is within a mile. So...
How many feet in a mile?
2,000 something?
5,280.
Oh, 5,000 something. Yeah, miles are stupid.
528 T, right?
Yeah.
5 tomatoes.
Imperial makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, okay, but you know, it's their favorite enemy, so they might not think all that clearly. It's just like, this is the second fucking time in one fucking day, and I'm gonna kill it. They shall not be messed with.
Let me see if I have any spells that can help. Let's see. I don't think I ever learned Alarm. Well, we need to, like, we can't journey. We'll just exhaust ourselves if we keep going. So let us set up a defensive perimeter around here.
Rad.
Alright. Alright. You inform your party members that you wish to form a defensive perimeter. Ismark and Irina readily agree with you. Ismark suggests that possibly rolling one of the stone heads in front of the gate might keep it shut.
How big are these things? Like, I assume these are like really gigantic.
They're big boulders, but I assume with teamwork you might be able to.
Now, wait, I thought like we were already through the gate.
You're walking through it, and that's when Rat sensed it, but you can easily go back if you wish.
Okay, Rat senses it on the other side of the gate.
Yes, correct. That they didn't notice it for some reason until they passed through the portcullis.
Now, here's the thing, like, which way did the doors open?
They open, you were on the east side, they open to the west side, so outwards.
Okay, so if we're going to camp on the east side to avoid the undead, moving ahead on the statue isn't going to help because the doors open the other way.
You could test and see which ways they open.
I mean, but we already opened it.
Yeah, but some dwarves sing double ways. They're gates.
I mean, it's kind of like in that Scooby-Doo cartoon where Shaggy pushes a dresser in front of the door, but the villains still open the door the other way.
I didn't say Ismark was the smartest person. Just that he suggested it.
I don't believe that'll do any good. But the last gate we approached, it did have what do you call it? Like that wooden beam you could slide in to lock it.
Oh Christ, what is that thing called?
But that thing.
I guess door bar or whatever.
Does this gate have that?
Nope. Just rusty old gates on hinges.
And there's no like handles or anything like that?
Nope. As you approached, it opened.
Alright, well, let's check the gates. Do they open both ways?
They do. As you push back on the gate, it opens in the direction that you travel towards it from. Once again, making quite a racket as it does.
Rat, can you tell how many of these scents you're picking up?
Rat, you would once again be able to tell it is only one.
It's only one. I can take it. Let me take it. Let me do something. I haven't killed anything today.
Well, it appears that it's going to be coming after us. Let's camp out on the other side of the gate. And if it decides to come through, then we attack it. We lay an ambush for it.
More grumbling.
Does the party agree to do so?
I agree for an ambush.
Alright. Rat, Fossil, you are equal party members of this as well.
Yep.
Now,
Rat is very much annoyed, but puts down his bow. Their bow.
Very well. You settle in on the other side of the gate and settle in to wait.
now I'm double checking.
As you do,
Oh, Rat, do you need
Sullivan,
to sleep?
you notice the book seems to be quite warm once again.
Okay, just real quick, I'm just checking to see if Rat needs to sleep. Do you remember if you need to sleep, Rat?
I don't remember. Down here, D&D,
let's see.
sleep?
Do you have advantages on saving throws?
I lack of need for sleep.
Okay, so like while the
I
rest.
don't need to sleep, but
Okay, so since like you don't really need a long rest to recover anything, since you didn't use up any resources,
yeah.
you can stay on guard all night, where the rest of us take turns resting and warn us if anything comes through the gate, so we could ambush it.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna stand guard then.
And just Caramel Sullivan will look at the book.
Very well. As you open the book once again, blood appears to seep through the pages and begin to form words once more. Your mind picks them up in the voice of Strahd himself. How I longed for her to be mine! In her youth I saw what I had lost, and in her joy I saw what I had forgotten. I loved her. My heart was all but hers. But alas, her heart was not mine. Old one, she called me. Elder. And finally, brother. Her heart went to Sergei. They were betrothed, and a date was set. They were set to be married within the halls of my own castle. I saw the last chance I had for happiness slipping away from me, and for the first time, I was powerless to stop it. With her tongue, she called me brother, but her eyes reflected another name. Death. It was the death of the age that she saw in me. She loved her youth and enjoyed it fully, but mine was gone, squandered on brash campaigns, war, and family honor. The deaths she saw turned her away from me, and so I came to hate death all the more. What was once a simple inevitability became my anathema. My hate grew strong. I would not be called by death's name so soon, and I heard whispers of an ancient power, a temple in the south of Barovia. The powers that spoke to me there I will not detail in these pages, for so dark within their words that even I shudder to think of them again. But great indeed was my desperation. Doors, glittering, amber, yes! So I made a pact with the darkness, a pact of eternal life. And on the day of his wedding I killed him. I, Sergei, sealed my pact with his blood. When they saw what I had done, the castle guards pierced my flesh with their arrows, yet I did not die, nor did I live any longer. The words stop appearing.
This reminds me of a fucking Dutch legend, like you wouldn't believe. It's like, it's creepy how fucking accurate this is with Princess Alice and Wolfram and Reginald. It's so creepy. Sorry.
It's a really good story. I like it.
Alright, so just to verify, so like me, the player, understands. I'm sure Sullivan does. He's way smarter than I am. The amber doors he spoke of, that wasn't at the castle, right? He went to a different place.
He said specifically that he found a temple south in the mountains.
Which direction are we heading right now?
You are headed west.
And what was south of us? That was
South was the, like, right now, like, technically we're heading up a mountain pass, which was north. But right now, from where you are, eventually you'll be able to see more of the map as it gets revealed. But there are mountains to the southwest of you.
Okay, like when we were taking the mountain pass, which direction was Strahd's castle? That was north?
His would be to the northeast.
Okay. Valkyrie's to the west, these mountains are to the south.
Yep. I promise eventually, once you've explored enough, you'll be able to see some of the map. Fog of War and all that.
Okay. Sullivan's gonna close the book, put it away. Musetta, do you know anything about a temple to the south in the mountains?
Musetta closes his eyes, shakes his head, and gives the sign of the evil eye. He says that he's heard of a temple of extraordinary darkness, of extraordinary power, but his people are not allowed to go anywhere near it or speak of it.
Sullivan repeats the question to Ismark and Irene.
The two look at each other and shake their heads. I'm afraid we're of no help to you, sir.
Sullivan is going to tell Rat what he read in the book. And deduce that if it comes to it, the way to defeat Strahd may lie within this temple, or at least to understand his power.
Noted.
However, you notice as you're talking about this, the undead presence before you has gotten extraordinarily close. You feel it bearing down on the opposite side of the wall heavily. Time seems to pass a little differently while you read the book.
Okay, so can we tell that it's right on the other side of the wall?
Yet, even you can feel its malevolent coldness.
Okay, so if time was passing differently while I was reading the book, maybe I should give everybody else a chance to do something that they wanted to do before this happened.
Fossil, Rat?
Yeah, okay. So what's happening with that creature thing?
No, so right now you would have noticed that it is extraordinarily close. It is on the opposite side of the wall from you in your ambush. You can't tell if it's noticed you or if it's just close.
Okay. Well, I think the best thing to do is Red is gonna take their bow again, very slowly, and just get into a position they have a clear shot of it.
Rat, you would know that there's a fog almost of cold enveloping this creature as it slowly plods along the length of the wall. It holds its claws extended, scraping along the stone, creating quite a racket as it does.
Mm-hmm. The cold doesn't bother me anyway. No, for real, because I'm resistant to cold weather.
I've lost my resistance. I've been in the desert too long.
Come to the Netherlands in the winter.
Alright, well, I will give you three the option here. Would you care to continue this encounter now, or should we call it on a cliffhanger?
I think we should do a cliffhanger since Aurelia is not here, and I think he would really want to be part of this.
Right as you notch your bow and have it aimed at the creature, it stops. It looks up at you and smiles.
Mm-hmm.
Scene.
Damn it.
Alright, everybody, thank you so much.
Right, thank you for running this for us, Caramel. I know.
I hope it didn't seem too slapdash. I know the basic story beats I'm going for, but a lot of this I'm like flipping through the book furiously as we're going.
It was acceptable. You're fine.
Yes.
Like I know it feels like we kind of blitz you with this because I'll take part of the blame here. I was unsure early this week about what was going on. Like I got the dates mixed up. Like I knew it was Celia's birthday this weekend, and then my birthday the next weekend. Because her birthday's on the 13th, mine's is 21st. And then for some reason I got the D&D dates mixed up, so I was going to do my birthday stream this week, but I did correct myself. But that could have easily been lost amongst the long stream of text we got going on in D&D chat right now.
Ah, it's all good. I think it worked out fine.
Yeah, so next week, we are going to be doing a special Cogent stream. I would like for everybody, like, if you get the chance, doesn't need to be super detailed, just a random scene of anything. If we don't get enough, I will look up some stuff on, see if there's a way I could get some random pictures offline, I mean from the internet, but I want it to be randomly picked. I'll probably ask Celia to find some random scenes for me.
Like, random scenes how? I suppose actually we should talk about that off stream. Like, we should finish the stream first, then we'll talk about that.
Okay, yes. So, that's what we get planned for next week. Tomorrow, going back to play some Final Fantasy, go on a big fishing adventure. And, anyway, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Caramel. Thank you, Rin.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Rin, for showing up. I know it's late for you. Thank you, Cranky.
Not so bad.
It's so great to have Falso back with us.
It really is.
Thank you, Sorelia. I know he always has to leave early because he has stuff to do in the morning. And thank you, Cold One, for just kind of popping in during intermission. I know he had to leave. And anybody else that showed up, Kentucky Boy, I see you there. I didn't, don't think I didn't notice you. And anybody lurking, thank you so much for showing up. Oh, and Taru being dragged here against their will by Caramel. Hope you enjoyed. If you're watching this on a replay, or on YouTube, or on BitChute, hope you're having fun. This is part 7. Hopefully part 8 will show up the week after next. We'll see. Till then, later.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.